Hey guys, Ranchin here. Primo stock of commentary. I was denied the countdown. Damn you. But oh well. Round of 16 continues. First set in Group H. ZerO up against Pure. We're going to have ZerO at the 9 o'clock position as the blue zerg, of course. And we're going to have Pure as the brown protoss at 3 o'clock. This is Heartbreak Ridge, 2-player map. One of the more even maps, I gotta say. Pure, they're collecting himself. And just looking at this right out of the bat, I gotta give ZerO an advantage. He's been playing so creatively. For those of you guys that this is a bit of a spoiler right now, but go watch ZerO versus Bisu on Nuke's account. We dueled that. It was in the OSL. It was a crazy. I'm not gonna say who won, but suffice to say, ZerO played a very good game. I'm not gonna say whether he won or lost. He played a very good game, and I recommend going and watching that. Pure's gonna go for a Forge Fast expand here. Very standard so far, just sending his probe scout, Overlord going alongside for ZerO. And ZerO's been playing very creatively. Very, very creatively. And every time he plays these days, I'm really looking forward to what he's going to do. He's been doing a lot of funky, interesting builds. And it's just a player I really love watching. Pure is Mr. Standard. And versus Zerg is his worst matchup. He's about 41% against Zerg. And I honestly can't see him taking this series away from Zerg. I can see him taking a game, perhaps, but not a whole series. The maps are all rather well balanced. There are no Protoss favored maps really in this tournament. 9-pool, overpool coming in from ZerO. So he's playing aggressive. He's going to force Pure to pull it down a couple of cannons. Just going to go that probe inside. Going to start off by mining a couple of minerals away. I took care of your minerals. Haha. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? But yeah, ZerO's going to put on the early pressure, then going to expand again. And just now the Forge is going to be coming up for Pure. But yeah, Pure's going to be forced to put down 2 cannons and just try to play economically. Not going to be able to prevent the probe. Not going to do any harassment whatsoever to the probe that's going to put down the hatchery. A little bit of a... Pure should have actually been able to harass that drone a little bit, prevent that expansion from coming up. Usually as a Protoss, that's what you want to do. But, you know, I think one of the best Protosses ever in doing so is Bisu. That guy can be so annoying. Oh, Pure going for Nexus first. Pure going Nexus first. I hope does not come back to bite him. This is, of course, a long distance between the two bases. Zergling's on the way. 2 Zerglings are already on the way. I hope this doesn't turn up biting Pure in the ass. He has put down 1 photon cannon. He's going to need another. There are a lot of Zerglings coming right for him. He's going to need more, definitely. ZerO sending his Zerglings out instantly, right. He's going to have to group him up, though, if he wants to try to go for a run-by. And I think ZerO's actually sending out a 3rd drone. He might actually be thinking of putting down a 3rd base. Actually, now going to force the probe. But probe just running around trying to spot what the drone's going to do. The drone, I believe, indeed is going to go for the lower left-hand base. So ZerO's going to go for a 3-hatch build. Gateway alongside the first cannons, and a pylon being put outside. So Pure actually going to block off with a pylon that he will eventually cancel. He's just going to put that pylon out first. Most likely going to morph into 2nd cannon, just to make sure he can block. Zerg is not going to be able to run by with that pylon there. He might, Pure might even keep that pylon there to make sure nothing happens. ZerO not going to put down his 3rd hatch with the lower left hand. Has 6 Zerglings just outside of Pure's natural expansion, and is not going to be able to do a run by. So you know the pylon was indeed put in place, and now it's just 1 probe block, and the Zerg is not going to be able to go in. So interesting play, I gotta say, by Pure. Actually wanting only to put down 2 cannons rather than giving himself an opening for players to run by. Now going to switch probes a little bit, switching the blockade. He's not going to start mining from that base. 1 single cannon, and a Zealot should be out fairly soon for Pure as well. Actually going to block in with 2 probes now. Wants to make sure the 6 strings cannot run by. And actually ZerO shouldn't be able to do that. I don't think ZerO is even going to bother. He's just going to go economic play. He's aware on the way already. Is getting some drone count up at the natural expansion. Should be getting at the lower left hand. Now looking at the polls, 87%. Think that ZerO is going to take this, and I honestly understand. Pure is kind of the WeMade FOX main Protoss now, but he's never showed any real spectacular play. He's a good, solid player, good, solid standard player, but beyond that, he's nothing insane. I've actually written a little bit of an article back on sc2gg.com, part of Backhoe's MSL blog, where I have an article written, Who's in the MSL? And there I write about a couple players, Piano and Pure, which I was very surprised it got through the round 3 too. So yeah, I think that both of those players will go down the round of 16. Piano already a game behind, and now we're going to see how Pure's going to go here. He does have his Stargate coming up, and also has a Citadel Ladun up, and one single Zealot blocking in, should have another one on the way, unless he goes for Dragoons at this point. Spire coming up for ZerO. It's going to take him a little while to get that, but he is going to go for Mutalisk's play. Does have two bases mining pretty well, and his lower left hand just has one drone at the moment, but he is going to be going for 3-hatch. Most likely a 3-hatch Spire into 5-hatch Hydra, unless he goes for something like what he went for against Bisu. He kind of started like this against Bisu in the OSL on this map, but then Convergent changed a little bit. Pure going to be able to get the probe inside and going to spot the Spire. Now going to start cannoning up inside of his main, and is naturally now going to add another gateway, and the Temple Archives coming up inside of his main. Probably going to put down the cannons fairly soon. Probe still just running around just outside of ZerO's natural expansion. And ZerO finally has quite a lot of drone saturation, so he's getting full-on mining. Not a lot of Zergans inside of his own base, just as one single Zergan trying to hunt down that probe, not being too successful in that overall. I do believe it is speed upgraded, though. 4 hatcheries, and we're going to see if ZerO is actually going to go for what he went against Pure. Pure now has this first Corsair out, 5th hatchery to come down for ZerO. If he is going indeed down for what Pure went down, Pure not going to be able to kill that one single Overlord. Yeah, anyway, as I'm trying to say, while actually going on, if ZerO went for that, he's going to go for that again. We're going to see a Queen's Nest coming out fairly soon, very quickly for him, just on 3 bases. And you'll see what happens. I just really don't want to spoil that game because some of you guys may not be watching that, and I really want you guys to go and watch. The second Corsair now out for Pure at the north side, going to hunt down another Overlord. So he's going to lose 2 Overlords to start off. Has Mutalisks on the way, and a Hydrogen coming up as well. Scourge now out. No, never mind the Mutalisk. Scourge on the way. And Scourge are going to start hunting down the Corsairs. One of the Corsairs at the north is going to be forced back, not going to kill the Overlord. So 1 Overlord kill for Pure, not a bad start. Protoss Gateways coming up everywhere, and yeah, no cannons. Most likely because Pure is expecting this kind of build from ZerO. It now has a Dark Templar. I'm not quite sure whether ZerO spotted the Shimmer on the map from the probably did with his Scourge, because there are creep colonies both inside of the natural expansion and at his lower left-hand base. He's going to morph those to Sunkens. You know, also have Overlords at all positions. These are Templars going to have to do some damage. But yeah, Mutalisks are indeed on the way for ZerO, and I'm not quite sure if Pure is at all prepared for this. Cannons, I believe, are going up inside of his main. He has a High Templar out in the field as well. That could be picked off. 2 High Templars. He has a decent number of Corsairs, but there are Scourge in play for ZerO. Now what's going to happen, he's going to go for these High Templars. High Templar, one of the High Templars is going to go down, not going to manage to storm, and one of the Corsairs, I believe, also went down to those Scourge. Now on the opposite side, Pure's going to attack the lower left-hand base with a couple of Dark Templar. The Overlords in place alongside the Sunken Colony. Those Templar are not going to be able to do anything, but ZerO now harassing the natural expansion of Pure, doing a lot of probe damage, nothing there to defend. Those Dark Templar trying to run by and try to kill something, aren't going to be able to take down the Extractor. ZerO now being overly aggressive, taking so many probes. 1 Corsair coming in to defend. Pure's going to be able to take out 1 single Extractor, but nothing else. He's losing so many probes. Couple of Corsairs trying to defend, but our Scourge in play for ZerO has to be really careful. Is finally fighting some of those mutas off. Of course, this heavy splash damage from those Corsairs. Dark Templar trying to run for his life just outside of the range of the Overlord. And the Mutalisk of ZerO is not going to finally be forced back after doing quite a bit of damage. Quite a bit of damage done there. Pure did manage to take out 1 single Extractor, but not much else damage. I think he took down a probe, maybe 2 that were mining gas. 1 White Templar now on the way, actually morphing to Archons. So smart for Pure, actually morphing to Archons. They were very vulnerable as those High Templar with those Mutalisks around. The Lurker is on the way for ZerO, so he's going for full-on tech, not going for a Queen's Nest yet, just going to stay on Lair tech. And I think that's smart for him, just better expansion. Now, Pure is going to be forced to take on this early blocking pylon. Another Corsair go down, most likely due to Scourge. More Scourge now flying in, but this time, Corsairs, I think, barely did not manage to get hit. Now has a decently sized force actually moving out. Several Zealots, Speed Zealots, in fact, alongside an Archon and Corsairs. So Corsairs and Archon are going to be able to push that, are going to be able to push those Mutalisks back. But now they're going to go down, going to engage the Lurkers, going to try to engage the Lurkers before they bury down. They are going to bury down, and no observers on the field for Pure, so Pure's going to be forced back. There are a lot of Hydras in there to support. Weapons 1 for Pure is ready for his Grand Forces. If he manages to use those well, he's going to be doing a lot of damage. Again, attacking with the Dark Templar, the Extractor, but this time it's going to get picked off and killed. Not going to manage to take down the 3rd gas. 1 Overlord going to lose its life course. Scourge! Oh, 1 Scourge he managed to hit, but I think this time the Corsairs are going to be able to fly, at least to the safety of the Dark Archons, if not to the safety of the cannons. Again, Pure just trying to push those Hydralisks back a little bit. He does have a couple of high tempo. He's going to need those because ZerO already has created such a huge army. Almost a little bit Quanro-esque of him, like getting a 3 bases, then just getting a huge army size. Never mind what I just said, expanding at the 6 o'clock. Quan would actually have most likely a slightly bigger army at this point, and maybe not going for a 5